Before we move from talking about safety and survival mode to talking about creating a sense of play and vulnerability, I just wanted to say don't give up. Don't give up on being an artist, on being a creative, especially now with the pandemic. I think all of the voices that you've ever heard throughout your life, from people you care about, maybe even your family, friends, that being creative and making art does not make sense, that it's not worthy of your time, that you could be doing other things, that you're not going to be making money. All of the reasons that you should not spend time and energy making art, all of those voices are going to rear their ugly heads during this time because it doesn't make sense to make art. And I don't think that's why we do make art. I think we create because we want to express ourselves. And I think creativity is a core part of the human experience. I think when we create something out of nothing, we really understand what it is to feel alive and we make sense of our world. This world can be so harsh and cruel, and creativity is a way of turning pain and experience into meaning, into a meaningful way of looking at the world. So I think, this is the time to really reclaim that you are an artist and you are creative. And maybe you're not a professional artist, maybe you just love making things, and that's very meaningful as well. I know that it's not that simple. If you have lost your job or you're full-time homeschooling your kids, creativity really does fall to the bottom of a to-do list. And so I would just ask, how can you bring your creative impulses into your life? Whether it's making school activities a little bit more fun for your kids with creative projects, or even just cooking creatively, redecorating your rooms, gardening, baking, all of these activities do use creativity. And so there are ways to at least try to stay connected to your creative side, even if you really do have way too many things to take care of first. And if you're a creative who's lost your job because, you can't access your place of work, like a lot of musicians, there might be a whole other avenue you can explore. I have a dear friend, composer, who is now writing fiction, and I'm making YouTube videos. And I know a conductor who is making handbags. And I'm sure there's a lot of musicians who would love to try composing and have never really given themselves permission to do so. I think now is the time. Now is the time to really try to connect to that childhood love of creating that you once had, that has probably been beaten out of you in a lot of ways. And, creative people, I think all people are creative, but, if you're in a professional world, a lot of times we get stuck in our profession. And there's actually a lot of other avenues that you can explore, and they may end up informing your creativity in ways that you didn't expect. So I'd love to hear if any of you have new activities that you're trying, new projects that you never could have imagined before, or if there are ways that you're just trying to keep creativity in your life as you really just try to survive. I think anything that you can try is helpful.